the street can be a peaceful thing. Watching people get shot and beat to a pulp, it's just great. That's very peaceful, right? No, I don't think so. That would be absolutely horrible if you were walking down the street and saw innocent people being violently beaten and murdered. The Sicilian Mafia used violence to gain power. You're probably thinking, why would someone do that? Well, some people are just like that. Sometimes deaths are even caused by organized groups. In America, there are gangs that cause death, such as the Crips and the Bloods. But probably one of the most dangerous and intimidating groups was one of the first gangs to start. They're known as the Sicilian Mafia. The Sicilian Mafia is probably one of the most dangerous organizations ever. They could be extremely heartless and ruthless. They love to gain power and would do anything for it. The Sicilian Mafia would kill people that were in positions of power. FBI.com says that the Sicilian Mafia was infamous for its aggressive assaults on Italian law enforcement officers. The Mafia would commit assassinations of prominent government officials such as commissioners, mayors, judges, and also generals. You know, it wasn't like Assassin's Creed where they were jumping off walls and stabbing people in the back. Probably just shot them from a window. I'm not really sure about that. And they murdered the Italian magistrate, his wife, and 3 other police officers with a bomb. And this bomb created a 30-foot crater in the road. These murders were known as the Capsi Massacre. When the Mafia killed off the government officials, that meant that the position was open. Now, as I said, the Mafia would also kill off common people, but not all common people. And these common people consisted of merchants and salespeople. Now, but they didn't always kill other people, but when they did, they also often did it for inspiration. The Sicilian Mafia used scare tactics to gain power. History.com says that the Mafia used terroristic methods towards the people. The Mafia would do horrible things to dissuade these people. They would kill them with bombs, guns, threaten to kill their families, and even sometimes just find them in the street and beat them to a pulp. In other words, the Mafia was just a plain old terrorist group like any other. The Mafia didn't use the scare tactics on all peasantry, and peasantry is the same thing as common people, merchants, and salespeople. They would mainly use their scare tactics on the people that would vote. You can imagine some of the pain those people went through. They were absolutely terrified and did whatever the Mafia forced them to. As I said before about the Mafia killing off the government officials, you can kind of guess what happened next. The Sicilian Mafia put their fellow mafioso in political offices. The mafioso or mafiosi are members or member of the Sicilian Mafia. Now, mtholyoke.edu says because of those scare tactics, the people would vote for the Mafia to be put in office. The mafioso that was put in office would gain influence from the police officials and other people that were in positions of power that they didn't kill yet. The mafioso would gain legal access to weapons and would give these weapons to the Mafia. And the Mafia needed these weapons to keep fear in the hearts of the people and keep the power they had over them. And the mafioso in office would also relax the measures of the Mafia's crimes. And that basically means that there would be no penalty for the crimes that the Mafia had committed in the past. As the Mafia's violence increased, their power and territory increased also. They were violent and heartless. Over time, their power diminished. However, they maintained an effective level of power. It concerns me knowing a group like that still exists, and it would surprise me if it didn't concern you.